Okay, guys. Sorry. I'll get you guys all to come back. Come back. I had a little memo thing on my phone way up here, and I didn't see the timer countdown thing, and so I wanted to come back. And if there was any last minute questions, I'll answer those. Microwaved mustache, what a great name. Are fake nails bad? No. Fake nails are especially, well, it depends on what kind of fake nails you're talking about. If you're talking about it as acrylic, because a lot of people think that that's fake, then it's only bad if your nail professional grinds down 50% of your nail plate. So, and then there's the ones that you glue on. Those are fine, but you're gluing them on with basically a nail glue that's like super glue. It's the same ingredients. So acetone dissolves that glue. So if you're going to use fake nails and you're going to have that glue, what you really need to do is soak that in acetone really, really well. Don't ever pry artificial nails off. You don't want to do that. So, okay. I have deep ridges in my nails. Why? How can I fix that? That I answered just a little bit earlier, and I do have an article on nailcarehq.com, and so Google that plus ridges, and that will explain why you have it. Is there a reason that some polishes never dry on me? That's a really good one, and I'm not totally sure because I think, again, it depends on the weather and the humidity. I know that when I went to Maui, I tried to polish my nails, but it was so humid that it didn't dry. It just didn't, and then it bubbled and everything. So, like, the top surface of it dried, but then everything underneath didn't dry, and so then it got all bubbly and stuff. And so it only worked if I went back to the place where we were staying and had the air conditioner on, and then I was able to get it to finally dry. My nails are peeling. I always wear nail polish, and I always moisturize my nails and take great care of them, but it still happens. Okay, so then that's such a great question. That would take me back to what happened to you 4 to 6 months ago, because like when I had my abdominal surgery, and it took me 18 months to heal. So about 4 months into that healing process after the surgery, I knew, because of the stress of the surgery and the healing that the body needed to do, when you have such stress, and it could be going back to school, it could be getting a divorce or getting married or buying a new house, anything that's super stressful for you can create problems. So why was I I'm trying to figure out the question I was answering. Oh, I'm so glad that question doesn't totally disappear. So okay, so going back to, I had the surgery. 4 months later, my nails started peeling, and they were so thin. And I was like, oh my gosh. But because it took me so long to heal, my nails were horrible shape for over a year, well over a year. So it depends, and especially if the stress that you're going through doesn't disappear. So let's say you're in a psychologically abusive relationship, that stress is not disappearing. So it will take its toll on your nails for a long time. I hope that helps. And I hope maybe I was right. I don't know, because sometimes you guys don't give me enough information, but that's okay. I have peeling on the sides of my nails. How can I fix this? My nail never actually breaks, but the sides peel off. I'm not sure how to answer that one without actually seeing your nails. So that one, Sarah, I would need you to email me that. Sarah X14 says my nails break so quickly. You know, our nails break because we're doing stuff in life that is incompatible with longer nails. And so, like my nails, when I was sitting just typing out articles, my nails were 3 or 4 times as long as this. And now I have horses. And so actually this is long. I have to keeping them shorter because long nails and horses just don't mix. And I still wear gloves. I wear gloves for everything. So that's another thing is, you know, how well are you taking care of your nails? What's your health like? How well is your diet? How much water are you drinking? And then, like, when my children were small, and I was dealing with diapers and diaper pins and washing my hands all the time because of changing diapers, and then dealing with those evil car seats and those crazy buttons. And then I would always break my nails on that clipping button for car seats. Anyway, so I had to keep them short. I just did. My lifestyle at that time made it so that I had to keep them short. How come I get bad hangnails when fake nails are not on anymore? That's a really good question. Usually hangnails are happening, depends on the kind of hangnails. The ones that are right here, those are little pieces of skin that usually happen because the nail plate is separating from the nail bed here. And so you get these little bits of skin that you can work at and work at and work at. This is my problem. I'm a perfectionist picker, and so that little tiny piece of skin right there, I will pull it, and infections and all kinds of things. So I carry baby nippers, baby infant nippers, to cut those little bits of, they're already dead, they've separated, but I'm very, very careful to not cut into live skin, just that little thing. And then that is my trigger: oil, because the skin is getting drier, and so I'm gonna mess with it. If you're getting the shredding hangnails here, a lot of times that's depending on what you're doing with your hands. If you're shoving them into something, it can cause, especially if you're clipping the proximal fold right here too, if you're clipping that irritates all the skin and can cause hangnails, these shredding ones. And then also if you're using a cuticle remover, and let me go back and explain this for anybody who doesn't know what the cuticle is. The cuticle is that dead skin on your nail plate, okay? And it's really not what we've all been taught. This is not the cuticle. So the cuticle, we want to remove it because it's the dead skin, and polish doesn't stick to dead skin. So we want that off the nail plate, but we want to keep this skin nice and soft. And if this proximal fold skin right here, if that dries out, it gets hard and it makes you want to cut at it, but it can also cause those shredding hangnails that then we want to grab and yeah, not fun. I don't know that it had anything to do with the artificial nails. Manic Mommy Nails says, I have one nail that polish always peels off of. Why? And can I stop it? Even tried to use alcohol to dry the nail before, like rubbing alcohol before painting. That's an excellent question. And it's hard to answer because I actually just talked with Doug Schoon about this. He's the author of Nail Structure and Product Chemistry. And he just said that some people, their nails are just incompatible with certain products, and it won't stay on. Sometimes it can be if you've got, so like you've cleansed your nail plate, but if your nails tend to be more oily, so you've cleansed the top of the nail plate, but you're if So let me get my thought back, because my husband was trying to call me because he thinks I'm off of this, but I started another one because I got cut off. So he said that he does not quite understand why some people, they anyway, the oil, okay, now there's my thought, that the oil is coming up through the nail bed, and it's just, and what it's doing is it's breaking the bond of the polish on top, and then it's peeling off. Why it happens on only one nail, I have no idea. I don't. Anyone who uses your Bliss Kiss nail oil and nail and cuticle oil has read your blog post already have solved the problems that others are asking. I know. This is true, but I have 80 articles and it takes a long time to get through those. So, but yeah, and the fact is, when I start these live feeds, that goes into whatever Instagram's main thing of, these are all the people who are live right now. And so we can get people who aren't following me and don't know anything about me, and they just realize, oh, we're talking about nails, and here, I have a question. And peeling nails is a big one. So I try and send everybody to articles as much as I can, but a lot of times they don't even know that I exist or that our company exists. So I'm happy to answer those questions. Nail Art Beckett says, how can stress affect our nails? Stress really affects your digestion, and the way, because the body's defense mechanism, protective, is to take care of this core right here, and your arms and your legs are way less of a priority than from here down to your belly button, basically. And so it's going to, depending on the amount of stress that your body is going through, it says that what's going on your fingertips is the least of your problems. And so what happens is the nail matrix is just not working ideally. It's not an engine that is firing on all the cylinders. And so that just affects the quality of the nail cells that are being built. And then, but you don't know that for another 4 months until that nail that's not that's not growing as well, you see that about 4 months later, and then you're like, well, why did my nails suddenly start doing this? Why'd they start peeling? And it's because you've forgotten what happened 4 to 6 months ago. So how can it be that when I'm showering my nail polish peels off? I love that question, because that is the question that got me into this business and got me creating our oil. I had written a book. My husband and I wrote a book called What You Don't Fix, Your Kids Inherit. And it took us 2 years, and I was so tired that I didn't want to do anything once that got published. And so I was like, all I want to know, I'm sitting on the sofa, all I want to know is, why does my nail polish chip in the shower? Especially if I'm doing nail art. It's like, I've just spent 3 hours making this great nail art. I get in the shower the next day and half of it chips off. And so that's what got me started in all of this. I just put it into Google and I said, how do I get my nail polish to stop chipping in the shower? And I fell into this 2-week-long rabbit hole of like 8 hours a day. My husband thought it was nuts. But I discovered all kinds of YouTube videos. I was like suddenly in this whole world of nail art. And then I was reading tons of articles and different blogs and trying to get this piece of just this one question answered. And I learned all kinds of stuff. And I also learned, I also found all kinds of horrible advice that was like, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you stick your nails in cloves of garlic to strengthen them? That is just insane to think that actually works. It doesn't. So I found all kinds of myths, and I was just like, okay, I had sort of searched the entire internet 5 years ago. It was a lot smaller than it is now. And I felt like I had researched everything, and I still didn't have an answer to the question. So I ended up, a little while later, I ended up purchasing Doug Schoon's book, Nail Structure and Product Chemistry. And it took reading that book and writing articles and looking stuff up in the book. And it took me a year. And I finally realized when he said the nail plate absorbs 1/3 of its weight in water. It can absorb that much water. And so then what that does is the water absorption gets in between the nail plate and pushes the layers apart. And then that can affect the polish bond to the nail plate. And then I was like, oh, look at that. That whole side is not getting polished. So I was protecting it on this side, but I was not protecting my nails on this side. So water, when I was in the shower or the bath, water was penetrating all the way through my nail plate and breaking the polish bond. And so then it chips in the shower. I was like, oh my gosh, how simple is that? But nobody was teaching it. Nobody knew it. And so this is why I created the Fab 5 wrap, which is take your base coat and wrap it all the way around down to your fingertip, right down there into your hyponychium. So you're going to wrap your base coat, 2 layers of base coat, then do your don't wrap your color coat. 2 layers of base coat, then your 2 layers of color, and then wrap your top coat all the way around. So with your tips, what you've now got is 8 layers. You've got your 5 layers on top, you've got 3 layers on the bottom. Your nail is completely encapsulated with the polish, which slows down water penetration. It doesn't completely eliminate it, but it slows it way, way down. So that helps protect your nails. And it's 8 layers of polish, so you can imagine that is a bunch of temporary strength. So, great question. Oh, my young 6384, is there a best shape for nails, or is it just a preference? There is. And so this is a great question. I wrote an article, nailcarehq.com, and then also Google how to file nails squoval. That's the one, because it helps you learn how to file your nails so that they're all the same length. And so basically what you do is you file them across, and then you file them where you think you've got them straight, and then you flip them over and you look at them, and you'll see that when you filed some, you thought you were filing it straight, but it'll end up being crooked. And that's because if you're looking at, let me see, yeah, this one's a really good one. So this cuticle line slopes up this way. It's not a nice curve. And so what I was doing was actually following the look of the cuticle line. And so I was filing it sideways. And so then when I flipped it over, I realized how bad of a job I was doing. So then to go back and answer your question, so that's how to get them all the same length. But if you look at your cuticle lines, and for those of you, like this one's pretty squarish, but then when we get down to my pinky, it's very, very curved. And then like if you look at my thumb, that cuticle line is almost straight. So the most pleasing shape is the one that mirrors your cuticle line. So if you've got some curved ones and some that are straighter, you can do straight across, you can do squoval. You have a couple of choices. People have said, well, I don't have the same, it's not the same, so you get to pick. But you know, there's so many new shapes that, I mean, they've been around for a long time, but new shapes that are becoming really popular, like the ballerina and the coffin and the really pointed ones, and the round and the almond. All of those, a lot of it is just preference, especially people who like the ones that are rounder or even almond. They find that when they file off this corner, especially for those of us who have really curved C-curves, if you file off these corners, guess what? They're not there to break, but they could tear. So it's all personal preference. It's What's your lifestyle like? It gets into all of that. Hope that helps. I've never been under great stress, but my nails always peel every now and then, even with cuticle oil. Are you keeping polish on them at all times? Because, okay, so because I was talking about nails absorb water, so when if you're not keeping them polished and wrapping that all the way around your tips, then water gets in there and it still causes them to peel. So like everybody's nails can peel, because if you think about it, we're grabbing things, we're scratching, all of this stuff that we do with our fingernail tips. It causes those layers to kind of pull apart. We're using them too much. We're working so it's there's so much of, you've got to look at your whole lifestyle and how exactly what are you doing, how well are you taking care of your nails. If you've read the articles that I've written over at nailcarehq.com, that helps. I have quite a few articles, and Doug just wrote one that I just published yesterday on all of the reasons why nails will peel. So hopefully that helps. Bad hangnails, how to get rid of them. Baby nail clippers. If you've got bad hangnails and they've already, the skin has already separated itself, then the skin is now dead. And so you can just trim that off very, very carefully, and then make sure you oil it to keep that soft. And also it helps it heal, especially if it's kind of created a wound. I paint my nails once a week. Can you paint them too much? Actually, once a week is great. Basically, it's not so much the polish that's an issue, it's the fact of how we have to remove the polish, and using acetone. Some of you use nail polish removers with non-acetone. Those are actually more drying to your nails because they don't dissolve the polish as fast, so you end up scrubbing a lot more for a lot longer, and so then you end up drying out your nail plate even more. So acetone's even better. Doug says that the body will if it rebalances itself if it can handle 1 week's exposure to acetone. It will rebalance itself on its own. But I'm like, Doug, you are not a girl. Not all of us can go a whole week. And so so basically that's when the oil becomes important, because if you're polishing them more than once a week, then you need to put more oil back into your nails. So I hope that helps. Sarah says, how do you know exactly how much nail oil to use? I have both the pens and the dropper bottle, but I feel like I always drown my nails. How much do you really need? 1 drop is enough for all 10 nails. Some people have really dry skin, 2 drops. So 1 drop is enough for all 5 nails if you have really dry skin. Or for me, the way I do it is, there's another way of looking at it, is 1 click of the pen per nail. So what I do is like 3 or 4 clicks, and then I just rub it really fast underneath. I'll usually do 1 more click to do my thumb, and then just rub that in. So it is way better to use less oil more frequently than it is to use more oil less frequently, because just like for drinking water, okay, you have to keep sipping water the whole day long, or drinking a cup of water every hour kind of deal. Or you could drink everything that you need in 1 shot, and you're gonna feel horrible, and your body will not be happy with you. So it's the same thing with the oil. It just needs a tiny little bit, get that to soak in, and then you can add a little bit more. So, and definitely if rub it in, and I don't want you to feel like you've left a slug trail everywhere. Although I have some friends who like to be greasy all the time, and that's personal preference, but I don't. I really don't. So if I get too much oil, I rub it down my arms. So I hope that helps. What do you do when your nail layers separate? If they've completely separated and lifted, like when they're peeling and you get this big peel that's sort of sticking up, trim that with clippers, and then very, very, very carefully file that and try not to touch the rest of your nail with the file. It's hard, but basically you're wanting to just file that little edge. So I use a crystal file when I'm doing that. And then if it seems like it's going, and then you've got this dip because it's such a deep peel, then I fill that with nail oil and then I polish all over it and it's all trapped in nicely. How can it be when I'm showering my nail polish peels off? I know I just answered that one, but go to Google nailcarehq.com and chipped polish in the shower and you will find the article. Kirsten says, Anna says you shouldn't be leaving greasy slug trails. Which she's the one who likes the greasy slug trails. Yeah, oh, this is such a good one. Marma Meow, that's cute. Cute name. Is there a reason that some people have a half moon shape at the base of the nails? So yes, you can see it on my thumb, and I just barely have it. Most people, if you can see the lunula, which is that moon, it's usually, for most people, it is the one you can see is on your thumb. For a lot of people like me, you don't see it on any of the other nails. And the lunula is the exposed portion of your matrix. So for everybody who's coveting, they're like, oh my God, you have the most beautiful moons. I want them. How can I get them? Stop that. Just stop it. Because it is the exposed portion of the matrix. So it's only being protected by the nail, whereas the rest of the matrix is being protected by this whole area that's called the eponychium. And so it's all of those layers of skin that is protecting the matrix. So we really want that skin to be protecting the matrix. We don't want to see the moons. It's because then if you bang, like smash it into a table or whatever, if you smash that area anywhere with the matrix, and then it creates a bruise. And the way a bruise looks in the nail plate is actually those white lines that people will get. And so if you see somebody with a bunch of white lines on different nails and they're in different places, if they have a bunch of them, you know that they're really, really tough with their hands because they're just bruising the matrix all the time. So that you get those little bruises, that's all they are. And they're basically spots. Because of the bruise, they are spots that stayed white. They didn't turn transparent when they died. So I hope that helps. Can you oil your nails too much or no? Nope, you can't. Basically, the body is self-regulating, and if you've got too much of anything, just like if you drink too much water, way too much water than more than what you need, you're just going to be in the bathroom a lot more frequently. So if you have more oil that your skin doesn't need, it's just not going to absorb and it'll rinse off when you wash your hands. I don't know why I feel like I'm seeing this all twice. Jill from Glisten and Glow. Great. She says, as a 20-year nail veteran, nail tech, I can say that all products work differently for everyone based on your own body chemistry, our environment, the products we use, and in addition, how we treat our nails. Very well said, Jill. Somebody says we've got younger girls in the thread. Can we please keep the language G-rated? Yes, please. I mean, a lot of you know that I won't accept swearing in my account, so let's keep that thing up in the live as well. Oh, Goyette Brooks says, I'm learning more right now than I did in school, and I have straight A's. Congratulations on the straight A's. That's fantastic. I don't even think I got straight A's. Or I tried. I'm pretty sure I tried. My nails are beautiful. Thank you. What is the easiest shape for beginners? What is the easiest shape for beginners? I don't think it matters if you're a beginner. It's really going back and looking at your cuticle line, of what is this shape, and the most pleasing shape is the mirror image of that. So there's some people that actually have very, very almost pointed cuticle lines. So actually the most pleasing shape for them would to be more of an almond type of shape, where they taper that up more to mirror that cuticle line. I hope that helps. So go to Google nailcarehq.com and the article of how to file nails squoval. And it's not necessarily to teach you, I mean, yes, it'll teach you how to file them squoval, but it'll also teach you how to file them so that they're all evenly, all the same length for each fingernail. And then that helps them look lovely from the other side. Oh, this is a good one. I find that my nails don't break or peel so long as I keep polish on them. My nails actually hurt if I don't have polish on them. Does anyone else get that? And yes, they do. And it depends on the type of polish that you're using, especially if you've got ones that have like strengtheners in them. Then what happens is those resins that are in it, they are holding your fingernail in this C curve. They're holding it tighter. It's kind of like the way a corset works on a woman's waist, if it's holding it in there and holding it tight. And so then what happens is when you take the polish off, then you get some moisture in your nails, and they are starting to flatten out, and that can pull on your nail bed, and that can cause a little bit of pain. So that would be why. So actually, if you left your nails unpolished for a long time, that would settle back out. It wouldn't hurt you anymore. But it's because you're putting the polish back on, it's tightening that up again. That's why then it feels better, because you're making that C curve better. Not better. You're making it so that it doesn't. Anyway, what I'm trying to say. Gosh. It's so weird how some questions, it seems. When I cook, do I use gloves? Depending on what I'm cooking. A lot of times I wear gloves a lot of times for nail prep, for food prep. When I'm doing that, and you get your hands and you're always rinsing them and stuff, I will do that. Or if I'm dealing with greasy stuff, like when I'm trying to deal with pulling apart bacon, I always wear gloves. It's just, anyway. Jill says square oval. That's where I say squoval. Oval are typically the easiest shapes. I would agree. Hey Sarah, you live in Holland. Woohoo! What do I think of the soy nail polish removers? I really don't know, because I haven't tried any of them, but I have read the reviews of people like the blog posts of people describing the products. The thing that I didn't like was that it seems to take longer, and require more scrubbing to get the polish dissolved. It would take like anywhere from 2 to 4 minutes per nail. And so I'm like, I just don't have time for that. So that's why I use our manicure clips, and a lot of them, people use them for gel, but when I got them, I was going to test them for gel, and then I needed to remove my polish, and so I used them for polish, and I was stunned, because you soak the cotton pad, and then you put the nail clip on, and then it heats up, or your body heats up the acetone, which also makes acetone work faster when you heat it up. Don't heat it on the stove or the microwave. No, you'll blow up your house. But if you heat up acetone, it works better. So then with the clip, it uses your body heat to heat up the acetone. And so literally, I start with this finger. By the time that I have gotten this finger clipped, these fingers the nails can't talk. That's because I'm in my second hour. The polish is completely dissolved. So then I literally remove the clip, swipe, 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 done. And there's no scrubbing the pigment into your nail, causing more staining. So because you're just pulling that off. So I totally transformed my life, because I absolutely hated removing my polish, because acetone is so cold when it's evaporating. So Ultra Control Delight. I feel like not many people talk about water intake regarding dry nails and skin. Yeah, I mean, oh, and let's talk about water. How much water you need to drink. A lot of people don't know this. The 8 glasses, the recommendation of 8 glasses is dumb, because 8 glasses of water for a toddler is not the same as 8 glasses for somebody who weighs 200 pounds. It's dumb. So you, the new recommendation is take your body weight, cut it in half, and that in ounces is how much water you need to drink. So if you weigh 100 pounds, let's just make that easy, then you cut that in half, and that's 50 ounces that you need to be drinking in water. So most of us will find that we don't drink enough water at all. Somebody just got their starter kit. Good. And post your before and after pictures. Put them together. I love to see those and to share those. Anna from Cali. Hi, Anna. You go by Anna or Anna? Anyway, she says my grandma told me that they were because of white lies, the white lines. And I had somebody else tell her grandmother said, oh, that's how many boyfriends you have. Or I swear, parents and grandparents say the funniest things about these little white bruises. That's all they are. I've recently noticed one long white line from the base to the tip. What is that from? I don't know. I need to see a picture. So go ahead and email me a picture of your nails and with that question, and I'll see what I can do. And if I don't know the answer, I ping that off to Doug Schoon, and he's fantastic. It's so nice. I can't tell you guys. So Doug Schoon is the author of Nail Structure and Product Chemistry, and that is my nail Bible, and it's highlighted like crazy for doing articles and stuff. And so when I finally got to meet him, that was so cool. And it really feels like an honor that he has supported my writing and told other people that it's important, and what I'm doing is really helping the nail community. So that was quite an honor. It was lovely having lunch with him. Nail Polish Army, do you suggest oiling and rubbing it in instead of just letting it absorb? Hi from Italy. Hi from Olympia, Washington in the United States. I do. I like to rub it in, but that's also because of the other reason is when you massage the nail matrix here, you're increasing the blood flow to it so that your body will actually, because remember when I said in the previous one, the 3 ways to get your nails to grow faster is to get pregnant, move somewhere warm, or damage your nail plate. Basically, by rubbing and massaging here, you're increasing the temperature. It's like moving somewhere warm. It will help your body produce better nail cells. What made me decide, Ruthie Brown, what made me decide to start this company, and what have you the motivation? So I'm guessing, why do I have the motivation? Did I have the motivation? I started the company because remember when I fell into that 2-week-long rabbit hole, one of the things that I learned was how important nail oil was. And it wasn't just one oil, it was a blend of oils. It's far more powerful when it's a blend. And so I was like, great, I'll just go get a nail and cuticle oil, and I'll start using that. And every single commercial one had almond oil in it, and I'm allergic to almonds. And I was like, snap! Now what am I gonna do? And so I was like, I'm a mom of 4 kids, and I've made a lot of recipes and I've made some recipes up. And so I started doing a bunch of research on all of the different kinds of oils, like in the DIY recipes. I was noticing which ones were showing up more, and people's explanations. And then I went to and I looked at the all the commercial products, and I looked at their ingredient lists, and then I started doing more research on those oils if they weren't matching up. And then that's how I was like, well, I want this one, this one, this one, this one. And to this day, our recipe has only changed by one ingredient. I added an ingredient, the olive squalane, and it works very similarly to jojoba wax ester. So that's how it started. And because so I created this oil for myself, and then I just started applying it, and it soaked in. It just kept soaking in and disappearing and disappearing and disappearing, and I was like, what the heck? So after about 3 days, then my nails had stopped absorbing the oil so fast, and I was like, they were just really dry. So I just kept oiling, kept doing that, kept wearing polish, and then oiling after I removed the polish, blah, blah, blah. And my nails, you can see them on our website, when my nails were really, really, really long. And that was the day before I cut them. They'd been growing for like 4 months, and they were longer than they had ever been in my life. And I was like, wow, I bet you somebody else on this planet might like this oil. And so then I was like, well, okay, I'll start selling it. And so I'd sold a couple of pens, and then Corey got laid off in 2012, September. And so I had like just started. It was about 3 months that I'd been selling, and we were like, oh, well, okay, this is bad and good. Actually, we toasted with champagne when he got laid off, because we were like, okay, this is gonna be really, really, really scary, but we know that this is the right thing. And we felt really, really passionate about, I mean, I know for me, about nails and polish and nail care, and I had learned so much from Doug's book. And I was just like, I had different intentions at the beginning of what I was going to do online. I was going to do more stuff related to nail art. And then I started to realize that the questions that people were asking me was, my nail art keeps chipping off. What do I do? And so then I realized, oh, it's not about that. At first, you have to take care of the canvas, the nails, to be able to paint them and have your polish last. And so then I realized, oh, I need to educate people. So actually, this is the worst product to start a company with, because when I started, people didn't know why they needed nail oil. They just didn't know. And so my job was then to teach all of you why nail oil was so important. And so then I started writing some articles and started getting more questions from people, and just kept writing articles to answer those questions. And that's kind of how it's grown. And my feeling is that it's very, very important for me to create value first. And by doing that, by helping people understand about their nails and what are all the myths and what are the really good things for taking care of your nails and how to do all of this, that empowers you. And then, oh, by the way, I have a product that can help you with this. So, and that's the way we've built the entire company, was solve Anna's problems first. So it has to solve my problem first, and then I know it's going to solve your problems, because we're all in this together. We're all very similar, and so it's fun. And it's been so fun getting to know all of you guys. And there's so many new people. Did you guys know that and this was actually like 4 years ago, it's probably changed now, but 70,000 new people get on the internet every day. Brand new, have never been on the internet, and they're on there today. 70,000 will be on tomorrow. So when you think about how many people there are to educate, that's why it's so important. And that's why when I'm doing these live feeds, I'm going to get the same questions, because these are new people. They are people who don't understand. They've discovered me through being on that live feed thing. The lives are happening right now. They're discovering because somebody tagged them and are playing and stuff. So there's all different ways that people slowly find us. So some of my nails have a C curve, but some don't. That is your fingertip bone. That is directly related to that. How long will it take your nails to grow out starting to use the product? Trying to understand that question, because your nails never stop growing. So it just depends on the speed of the way your nails naturally grow. And so if you're asking about using our oil, it's going to make your nails stronger in 3 days. You will notice a difference. And that's how we came up with the 3-day Get Naked Challenge, was because I had noticed at the beginning, it was like, oh, after 3 days, my nails were not soaking the oil up like a sponge. So that's how I came up with the 3-day challenge. So your nails will feel stronger, and they will bend when you smack them into something. And so then they will break less. So then that is the illusion then is my nails are growing. Again, they never stop growing, but because they've stopped breaking, they look like they're growing. Does that make sense? It's kind of crazy. Where do I live? In Olympia, Washington. It's a gorgeous day today. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Can I show the acetone I use? I could, but I don't want to leave. But I use the one from Sally Beauty Supply. You can get any acetone that you want to get from a salon type of place. And so for most of us, it's Sally Beauty Supply. You can get it at Walmart or any of these kind of places where they come in the littler bottles by like Cuticle, I think, or something. Anyway, it's a more expensive way to buy it, but look for pure acetone, not a nail polish remover. And you don't want to buy the big giant gallon metal gallon container of acetone from Home Depot. Don't do that. It's not pure enough. It'll have oily particles in it that then get onto your nail plate, and then your polish doesn't stick because it's got these oily particles. And so you're going to have much greater success if you use something from Target, Walmart, Sally's that says pure acetone. My favorite nail color, apparently purple, but I also love red. Reds are right behind. Somebody says I love your peel off latex. I do too. My cuticles are swollen. What do I do? Please, some advice. I would have to see your nails, but it makes me wonder. Usually the biggest reason for having your cuticle lines be really swollen is that you're cutting off the proximal fold, which is live skin, and so then that gets inflamed and it can get infected, and then that's why it hurts. If it's not for that reason, then email me and I'll see if I can help you out. Hello from South Shore, Kentucky. Chinky Monkey. I swear these names that you guys come up with are awesome. She says, yeah, I finally get to see your live feed. I'm a huge fan. Thanks for all the great prizes. I love my nails after spoiling them with Bliss Kiss. Oh, thank you. That's so nice. Yeah, actually, this is the second one. I didn't see the cutoff thing, and so I was like, oh, I'll come back and say bye. And this is usually what happens, is you guys ask me wonderful questions, and then it's like, oh, well, I'm going to be here for another hour. Nails and knickknacks. I still have one of the first pure nail oil bottles. The company has grown so much. It has, and boy, if you have the first one, do you have like the where it's gray? Because it was printed on a black computer printer, black printer. And it just has a flower on it and it says pure, I think. Oh yeah, and then we evolved from the gray one to then the pink flowers, and then now we have the new branding, which I really, really love. It's so classy. So yeah. So anyway, keep that bottle. It's a memento. It's I don't know, someday will it be worth anything? I don't know. Just don't smell the oil that's in it, because it does go rancid after a few years. Oh, hi Jane, starry-eyed 83. She says, you've taught us so well. I know everything I do from you, so thank you so much. And you still continue to teach me. I'm glad. And you know what? It is amazing how much we read and learn and forget. So I even go back and I read some of my first articles that I wrote, and I was like, wow, I kind of know some stuff, and it's still fun to kind of go back and read those, because I was in such a different place. But yeah, it's fun to read them and to go back. My nails are always peeling and breaking. Hollow Addiction, go visit nailcarehq.com and put in peeling nails and breaking nails, and it'll pull up the articles that I've written about that. Thanks for all your hard work. You're welcome. Manicures by Kirsty. Why doesn't Facebook want you to share educational videos? Because they're a pain in the I have a love-hate relationship with Facebook and also Amazon. But Facebook and Instagram are seriously cracking down on, and you probably noticed this about 4 or 5 months ago, they made it so that you couldn't upload videos, especially on Instagram. People were having a lot of trouble uploading videos that had commercial music that you didn't have the rights to use. And so Instagram cracked down on it for a while, and that's why you see many people who are using Creative Commons music now. And if they're using something that you would buy at iTunes or hear on the radio or Spotify or whatever, they're using it illegally. Just because you bought it for 99 cents or whatever doesn't mean you own it, and doesn't mean you get to use it. So what was happening was I was sharing these videos that other people had put music in. It made it so that for a while I couldn't even share them on Instagram. And so I was sharing on Facebook, and then they cracked down too. And they said, you can't post any videos or pictures or upload pictures for a month. So I'm kind of annoyed at Facebook, because I sit there and I go, well, why do you have a share feature if I can't share these videos? Kind of doesn't work for me. And then it just, if you've shared it and it says, oh, you don't have the rights to do this, and do you want to I'm blanking on the right word, but basically fight it. Here, submit this thing and say, this is why you think you own the rights and you should be able to do it. And oh, by the way, nobody's going to read this, but I mean, literally it says this, nobody's going to read it, but we will use that for future information and developments of what we're doing for Facebook. I'm like, thanks very much. That doesn't help me. Doesn't help me at all. I love that you share so freely. So many nail techs don't share, and so thank you. You're welcome. And that's a big thing for me with nail techs is, especially when you're trying to find a nail professional. I think I wrote an article about this, but the first thing you want to go in and ask them is, where's the cuticle? How do you remove the cuticle? And what tool do you use? And if they pull out those really sharp nippers that look like pliers, turn around and walk right back out, because they should show you a tool that they use to gently scrape the skin off of the nail plate, because that's the cuticle. And so if they're showing you nippers, then they're going to cut this live skin and that's going to get all inflamed and infected, and you are going to be very, very unhappy for a while. So it's way, way better. Oh my gosh, I went for another hour. It says I have 1 minute and 54 seconds left. Okay. All right. Reyes says, I like how you never get tired of answering the same question more than once, multiple videos. That's okay. It's all good. Hi from the UK. How do I stop my nails from flaking? Go to nailcarehq.com and put in peeling. I don't think I used flaking as a keyword, but put in peeling nails and you'll find the articles that I wrote about that. Okay, I've got 1 minute and 14 seconds. Manicures by Kirsty. I learned a lot from you before I decided to train as a nail tech. I know, I love seeing all your work. It's so cool. You're doing great. What year did I start my company? 57 seconds. We started it in 2012 when Corey got laid off. Oh, you love my earrings. Thanks. Me too. I love my, people ask me, what's your favorite color? And I tell them it's a peacock feather, because I love all the colors that are in a peacock feather. And that's what these reminded me of. And I was like, I have to buy them. Just have to. All right. 27 seconds. Let's see if there's, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thanks, Anna. Have a wonderful day. Thanks all you guys. I appreciate it. And I will be back next Thursday. Bye.
Hey, it's Anna. I've written over 70 nail care articles that you can find at nailcarehq.com. And if you're looking for products that will help you have longer, stronger nails, visit myblisskiss.com. Be sure to push the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get alerted when I publish more videos. This is Anna, signing off and sending you bliss.